2023 has been the year of the remake, with games like Metroid Prime Remastered, Dead Space Remake, and the game of the year so far, Resident Evil 4 Remake. And today I thought I'd share 3 games that I think PlayStation needs to take a look at remaking. Before I get into that, do me a favor, hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Let's get started. I have to admit, when they announced that The Last of Us was getting remade for PlayStation 5, I thought, do we need this? This seems totally unnecessary. But when I finally got a chance to play it, I'm like, oh yeah, I totally want more remakes like this. So it should be no surprise that the first game on my list here is Uncharted Drake's Fortune, or even Uncharted 2 or Uncharted 3, but I really think that Uncharted Drake's Fortune is the one that needs it the most. Uncharted is one of my favorite franchises in all of gaming, and if they could do what they did to The Last of Us Part 1 with Uncharted Drake's Fortune, then yeah, let's go. I am totally down. After playing Uncharted Drake's Fortune a few years back on the Nathan Drake collection, you can see that it hasn't aged wonderfully. It looks a little dated, so I think it could totally use a complete visual overhaul. I mean, to keep the gameplay totally the same, that's totally fine. And I don't think it would be a ton of work, really, to just basically change the visuals, similar to what they did with The Last of Us Part 1. Selfishly, I'd want all 3 games redone, but I mean, that's asking a lot, and it's a lot of work for all 3. But I mean, if they announced that any one of the first 3 games was getting remade like The Last of Us, I would be going nuts when they announced that. Up next are 2 multiplayer shooters that premiered in the PlayStation 3 generation, one of which was the first PlayStation 3 game that I ever had, and that is Starhawk and Warhawk. Warhawk was a multiplayer shooter that was really, there was nothing like it on console at that time. They had great flying, some of the best flying in any game still. I have yet to play anything that was as fun, arcadey, and fast as Warhawk's flying mechanics were. Its sequel, Starhawk, took a more sci-fi approach, added in some base building, and I really think that this game would be received a lot better in a more multiplayer age like today. Both games featured some really good third-person gunplay, and in fact, Starhawk even improved on it. In Starhawk, you could take the planes from the sky and transform them into like ground mechs, almost like something you'd see out of Transformers. With the lack of first-party multiplayer games coming from PlayStation, I think Starhawk or Warhawk would be amazing candidates to get the remake treatment. And number 1 on my list is God of War 1 and 2 for the PlayStation 2. God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok are both amazing games, and I'm sure there's a ton of new fans out there that have never experienced these 2 masterpiece games. These are the 2 of the best action games ever made, with huge set-piece boss fights, unlike anything you've seen in the 2 newest God of War games. The combat still is great. All you really need is to tune up the visuals, and you're going to let these games be experienced by a new generation of PlayStation gamers. What do you think? Are these good candidates to get the remake treatment? Are there any other PlayStation classics that you'd like to see get remade? Let me know in the comments below. And once again, if you're new here, hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you guys later. Thanks.